Is no stranger to the screens. She has now traveled all over the world, not only through her music, but she's also gone to speak to people. She has, I think, been an inspiration to so many girls across the continent, from how her story started at one point selling second-hand clothes to try and get fare to go back home. Here in Kenya, by the way, she was selling clothes here in Kenya, trying to get tickets to go back home, from just her becoming one of the biggest sensations of 2019. Coming to us live from Johannesburg, South Africa, Sho Majozi. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Huku. Mambo vipi, Sho Majozi? So good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Niaje?
Poa sana. Mambo vipi? Mwekuaje?
Si tupo bwana. Mambo za corona tu.
Hebu salimia mafanzi wako. Lazima, you know, there are people who've been waiting. There's some who thought maybe I was lying. I was just, you know, trying to jump on your name. Can you just real quick speak to the fans, say what's up, say hello, say what's good, and say it's Sho Majozi.
Well, Kenya, some of my favorite people. I know half of you have already seen me out and about on the streets, out at nightclubs, pubs of Kenya. You already know. I just want to say hi to all of you guys. And I miss Kenya so much. I miss performing there, and I know we still talk to my fans and my followers from Kenya. Thank you guys so much for the love that you guys keep sending me. Like, yeah, Mambo, yeah. It's literally me. They were not lying to you on trend.
Yeah, and you know what I really like about you, Sho Majozi, is that you seem to be, and we kept talking about this with my team, and we were like, I can't believe Sho Majozi is finally on our show, and she's not in the studio, because your energy is so infectious.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people always sort of say, and that's why I think the shows are so much fun. And like, to perform huko Kenya, even the crowd is crazy. So then they give that energy back and then acquire vibes. So I miss that a lot.
That's going to happen very soon, though. This is all going to pass, right? I mean, Corona has come. It's shaken the entire world. Everyone had all these plans. 2020 was going to be our year. You know what I mean? And I bet, you know, it's also affected your bag. But, you know, it's been tough. How have you been staying in quarantine? What have you been getting up to?
I've been staying at home like everyone else. Alafu, you know, for me, it's kind of a welcome break, if I'm honest. Like, jokes aside, like, you know, I love the work that I do, and I've had to travel a lot. Like in the last, I think, 3.5 years since Nkanza kufanya mziki, I haven't had a break, which is a blessing in itself as well. But I do welcome as well some time. Yani kukaa nyumbani, mtu aongee na crush zake, you know. Hi.
Yes, live life. That is true. Because we forget to live life. And I think a lot of that is affected by social media as well. You're constantly posting this perfection that you forget to live in the moment and be there. So let's live in this moment right now. And let me wish you a very early happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. How are you feeling, man? It's your birthday. You have a lot to be grateful for. How are you feeling coming into this new age?
Yeah, it's my birthday. This side, I still have just over 2 hours left till it's my birthday. And I mean, it's not the way I plan to spend my birthday, but I will still try to have fun with my fans. So I've basically sent out this message to my fans, Kwamba, dress up like Sho Majozi, take a picture of yourself, post it with the hashtag Sho Majozi Day, and then takuwa nachagua the best ones, the funniest ones. Kuna mtu mmoja, by the way, there's this other comedian in Kenya that's always dressing like me and making jokes.
Who? Which one? Which one? DJ E, do you know the comedian? We have to find the comedian. Who?
Is it DJ
Because
Shitty?
your style, who could it be, E? Do you think you could?
Mulamwa? What about
Mulamwa? I don't know if it's Mulamwa. But that's so interesting. There's someone who dresses like, you know, your style is very, very unique, Sho Majozi. In fact, it was picked up by BuzzFeed and all these guys talking about your style that was influenced by these incredible women from right here in the continent. So you can tell people about your style as they get ready for Sho Majozi Day.
So, well, I actually found the guy's name. His name is Paddy.
Aha, Paddy. Yes, he does a lot of parodies. Yes.
Parody.
Yeah.
So he's constantly made a parody of John Cena, made a parody of my song with Sauti Soul, Disco Matanga. And I hope he enters because, like, yo, the way he looks like me always does the worst. It would be like there'll be like a sock coming out of his head to show like it's my braids. And like, I think the trick to dressing like me is obviously the braids are a must. You have to have a colorful braid style. You don't have braids right now, since you can't go to the hair salon, maybe just use, I don't know, shoelaces, skipping ropes, spaghetti stew. I love, and then everything else is just colorful and really fluffy. So
Yes.
I love bright colors, and I love things that are like fluffy,
Yeah.
big.
Why the bright colors, Shoma Josie? What does that reflect about you?
I mean, culturally, that's what the women in my ethnic group used to wear when I was like younger, and that's what I grew up seeing, and it was like what I saw as being beautiful. And like I think as African people, like if you look at Kwakweli, Ukiangalia, the actual like the kangas, Ambathu Nava, and all these things, it's always been bright colors. So I've always wanted to incorporate that when you look young.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that you say that, you know, we've always seen it to be beautiful. And I like that you tied it back to Africa. For a long time, you know, and I know you've been seeing this as well, skin bleaching has become something that is very popular because, you know, they didn't consider black as beautiful. What are your thoughts on that? Seeing young girls go through this just to be considered beautiful?
What did you say was not considered beautiful?
So people bleach their skin these days, and it's you know, the numbers are growing across the continent. You know, they just don't feel as if black is beautiful. How does that make you feel when you see girls doing that? Yeah.
First of all, I really don't blame anyone who feels that way, because you have so much of media and everything telling us that, like saying that, you know. So I want to say it's going to be a journey for us to learn to love ourselves, etc. And I think even with different shades, like, you know, of skin color, sometimes you find people of a lighter complexion. I'm quite light-skinned, etc. You find that sometimes people like that get given opportunities that, you know, that other people don't get. And I think that's extremely unfair. So obviously growing up, you would look at that and say, well, that means that's the standard or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's for us to be able to change that. It's also about giving opportunities, giving a spotlight to people, to people of darker complexions, and not always to like long straight hair, other more African kind of looks.
Yes. That is true. I completely agree. That is very true. In advertising, we see it. In the magazines, you see it. The color of hair, the color, the complexion of the skin, the kinds of the one that they choose. You're actually right. We do have to be the ones to change it. And media, as I shoot myself in the foot, also have to play a very big role in that. Now, how many languages exactly do you speak, Shoma Josie? I was trying to research. You speak very many languages. How many exactly?
I think, wow, I speak quite a few South African languages, and then I speak Swahili, and then I speak French on top of that as well.
Yes, and your Swahili is very, very good, by the way. So as I was doing research about you, yeah, go on. And what?
I just said asante.
Asante. Okay, nakupata. And you know, so as I was doing the research, I found, you know, your story, as beautiful as it is, it's extremely inspiring. And here in Kenya, with that Swahili, you were selling secondhand clothes. Is that true? To try and get back home? Is that true?
I was very, very broke at a point. And I was actually living in Senegal, but then I would take like secondhand clothes, and then I would like make them like really hip and then sell them. Like, this is before it became cool to do that. This is before like Mudaza, Thrift Social, Nanini. Like, this is before that was cool to wear.
Yeah, to wear
like,
secondhand clothes. You know? Like, it wasn't edgy at that time. It was urban. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they don't call it secondhand. But it's in the vintage.
Yeah, nakwambia ni vintage.
No. So this was like before it was cool, because like I knew that my parents were like basically left me to basically whatever, like, to support myself and whatever. And I didn't want to, like, I had actually quit my job because I felt like, no, like, I'm an artist, I feel like I should be doing something more creative. So my parents said, okay, since you can quit your job, it means you can support yourself. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I was selling secondhand clothes, and then I really wanted to travel to Kenya. So I created this little market, like did a little party, and then invited people. They bought clothes. I even sold some of our own clothes, and then bought a ticket to go to Kenya. And then from Kenya, then I went back home.
Look at you grinding and hustling. Are there any other like odd jobs you did before you became this performer and this eclectic entertainer?
I mean, I thought I was gonna work in development. I thought I was gonna do sort of social justice, human rights work, stuff like that. That's what I thought I would do. But like the idea of being in an office, I really, really salute people who can do that. I feel it's a very different kind of personality than me. For me, I felt like, man, I'm a creative, so I remember I quit my job by writing this other rap where I was like, I hate my job. No, really, I'm not into it. So why do you still go? Because I need to use the internet. And plus I'm broke, but I go out as if I'm hella rich. And if I stayed at home, then you would find me where the seller is.
You gotta send that song. You have to send the lyrics over. That's how people need to quit their jobs. They just do that rhyme. You have to. So you've never released this. This is something that no one has heard. It sounds like our killer tune. I think that's how people should be resigning from their jobs. Just like walking up to their bosses and just spitting these bars. They're like, this, I gotta use the internet.
No, she was not impressed. My boss was not impressed by that. She was like, oh, wow. And then I was definitely, even if I wasn't going to quit, like I was fired for sure. And then I had to kind of hustle and stuff like that. But it's been good. It's taught me a lot. I think it's made me a person who even now, when I've been lucky enough to start earning money from my art, I'm a lot more careful with it, I think, than people who have never known, to support themselves.
Yeah. It is Mother's Day on Sunday. We're going to be having a show, Kingori, myself, and DJ Bash. Please make sure that you tune in from 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. We're celebrating moms or the mother figure in your life. There's lots of chances for you to win. It's going to be super hilarious. I cannot wait. Kingori is so funny. It's going to be a show that you do not want to miss. And we are on the show tonight with one of the biggest stars out of South Africa, Sho Madjozi. Now, Sho Madjozi, we need to talk about this. So it's Mother's Day on Sunday. What message do you have to the moms who are watching the show right now?
I think women in general never get enough credit for the work that they do. But then mothers in particular, I just want to say that you probably are way too hard on yourself. You're probably doing a much, much better job than you think you're doing. So I hope that you get the love on this Mother's Day that you definitely deserve.
That's true. That is true. We don't get enough credit. People don't give them enough credit. So celebrate your moms, okay? When you get to pay for their bills and stuff. And another thing that I saw was that there was this one TV that you guys used to watch in your village. 2 shows, right? It was Generations, and which other show that used to come on?
WWE. Yes! You already know.
All right. So then Generations is where you got your name, right?
Yeah, true. There was a character on Generations called Vivian Madjozi, and my cousins thought I looked like her, so then they started calling me Madjozi.
Oh, so then that's how the name stuck.
Yes.
Aha, okay, very interesting. And then also, I mean, WWE, we all grew up watching WWE. Wrestling was so big here in Nairobi, Kenya as well. It was what people used to watch. It was what people practiced. Like when they went back to school, if anyone picked on them, they'd be like, doing the Chris Rock. They do so many different ones. So other than John Cena, who else did you love?
Yes. On wrestling, there was this guy called Booker T. He had dreads. I was super, super into him. And then, as obviously everybody used to love the Undertaker, so that was like he was such a character. That guy literally died on WWE and came back to life. Like that, that guy was something else. I also loved Mysterio in the Mask because he was like actually doing crazy flips.
Yeah.
And actually being really acrobatic and amazing. I could go on forever, honestly. I don't know if you want the rest of Friends to be about my life.
You're like the rest of the show. You're like the rest of the show is going to be all WWE. But you know, let me tell you, Shoma Josie, you did this song and it had a life of its own. But I don't know how to tell you what watching John Cena come out on a show that we've watched for years, with a song that's from the motherland. We all owned it. It was Kenyan, it was Ugandan, it was Tanzanian. Do you, as a performer, I mean, do you get tired here seeing this reaction and like having to perform this song? And I bet when you used to perform, people would say again and again and again. Does it ever get tired?
It does not get tired. I make songs that I would want to hear when I go out. So then when I hear the songs, like even if I think, maybe I'm tired of this, then when I hear it, just when it starts, I'm just like, I just remember the fun that we had, first of all, making it and how happy it makes people. It's always a good time.
Yeah, and it's this song, right from the beginning, like from the first beat, it just tells you, hello, you have to get up. It's a party. We're going to dance. We're going to have a good time. Yeah. And you finally got to meet. I mean, people sing about Oprah. They sing about Ellen. They sing about Mother Teresa. You sing about somebody and you get to meet that person. Is it still shocking today that you met John Cena? Are you just as shocked?
Mother Teresa. And people are like, wow, how did you plan that? Like, you made a song about someone, and like people think I somehow planned this thing, and you guys should just realize like it was so far from being planned. Mimi nilikuwa naongea kuhusu mvulana ambaye alikuwa hanioni kabisa, hanioni, labda mimi ni John Cena kwako. Mimi nilikuwa nalia tu, nilikuwa naongea kuhusu yani maisha yangu tu, alafu ikawa this whole big sensation. So so I didn't expect that, and it like the way that it got so big, no person could have planned that. I would have had to be a marketing genius to have thought of that.
Yeah. And it's just done so well for you. And, I mean, I couldn't be happier. You're someone who has such great energy. You're all about just, love and positivity, encouragement. And I love that, the vibrance that you wear, the colors that you show. It's not just the external. It really is what you are inside. You're very colorful and, wonderful. And I just, it's so crazy how I could watch you and just be like, she seems like a really cool chick. So with all of these things that have happened, Shoma Josie, what's the one moment that is still humbling you, that you're just like, I cannot believe that happened?
I think all of these things, like, you can go anywhere, but like for me, success wouldn't mean anything if I wasn't loved at home, if I wasn't loved by the people that I love the most. One of the most humbling experiences for me was going back to my village and just having hundreds of kids coming to my grandmother's house and just like singing there and just being excited to see me. That will forever be the thing that makes me most proud, because I was once those kids. I was once that person, and if I had seen someone singing in my language on like all these stages, it would have meant so much to me. So I get it, and it like, that humbles me.
Yeah, and I also appreciate that your music transcends. It's not just a South Africa thing, like it just, crosses over to East Africa, and then West Africa are also loving that. And we have so many people showing you love online. There's Tiskanse Karanja who says, that girl, her energy is on fire. Tell her to keep that fire burning. Kelvin Alulu says, wow, Shoma Josie, she's from SA, and Abonga Sheng. Sheng is international. Sheng is our slang here in Nairobi. So someone says, I want to teach Shoma Josie a few words. Are you ready? Can I teach you a few words? These are a few Sheng words. Okay.
But what if I actually know them?
I will explain what they mean to you, okay? So someone here says Mbogi. So Mbogi is your crew, your squad. So you say Mbogi yangu. So Mbogi yangu. So you say Mbogi yangu. Sindio. So that one you know, that's easy. Then there's someone who says Rada. So you know Rada?
Rada, I don't know.
Like foam ni gani, Rada ni gani. Rada. So you only say Rada. Okay. And then there's also Wamlambes. Have you heard of Wamlambes?
Yes.
Yes. The end. I don't need to teach you more. All right. So then there's.
I don't know what it means.
I
just know that when you say that.
I'll tell you after this interview. I have to tell you after, like, you know, once we close, because the meaning is very derogatory. Not derogatory, but it's very inappropriate. The one that we think, right? DJ
I knew it.
Because it's like Lamba Lolo-ish, no? Is it not?
It's like when you're when you're having ice cream.
Wamlambes is when you're having ice cream.
Yeah.
It is not when it's, you know what, I'll just walk away from that one. Walanguzi says, hey, Amina, please tell Shoma Josie. Yes? Oh, okay. So tell Shoma Josie nitamnunulia sausage moja na bia mbili akikubali kuwa wangu. Kwenda. Ngoma za Shoma Josie zinabamba sana. I love them. I love her. She's also in an advert for WWE. Is she? You're in an ad?
Yeah, I'm with some of the WWE superstars in this advert, and a lot of Kenyans have been commenting on that, being like, it's crazy.
What? Look at you. What? So many names, man. Everyone just showing you love. I love Shoma Josie. I love her energy. I love her story. And I love her music. And it's so good to finally see her get the international recognition that she deserves. Oh, just so much love.
Thank you.
Yes. And, you know, seeing you on stage, how do you get ready for your on-stage performances? Because they're just as energetic as your beat. It's just... It's like you were Sasha Fierce on stage. How does that... Tell us. Take us through that for a bit.
Let me just make it very clear to everybody. I don't believe in like magic or that there's something you just feel and it just happens. I'll be very, very straightforward with you. My performances are 100% to do with preparation. We practice, we exercise, we do choreography. That's why we can bring the energy that we bring. Don't let anyone fool you into thinking any of this can just happen. What you see on stage from us is after like weeks and weeks of us preparing to give you guys the best possible show.
It's not like an accident. It's not magic. It's not like we had a fluke. It's not that God was blessing us that day. There was months and months of preparation behind it. We saw that you worked with our very own Sauti Sol. How was that like? How did you guys meet?
With Sauti, I actually met Sauti. I don't even remember how. I think I met them somewhere in a studio somewhere, and we just spoke about we should do something. You know, artists always do that, by the way. Oh, we should work on something, and then half the time nothing happens. But we met, and then I wanted to hang out with them. I thought they were really cool. And then luckily they had a song that they wanted to work with me on, and so they called me to studio one day. We went to studio, and they're so good. They're so creative. I love writing music, and they also are such great writers, such great musicians. It's like really easy and nice to work with them. But they also turn up, eh?
Yes. It's a Kenyan thing. Woo. It's a
hey, definitely.
It's a Kenyan thing. We really love the turn up. It's a. Did they were too much? Were they too much for you?
Oh no! I mean, Kenyans in general are a lot. I love one of my favorite cities in the world to party in and to have fun in is Nairobi. Without a doubt, you can ask anyone that knows me; they'll tell you Nairobi. Yeah. I was recently asked, like, yo, if Corona was over right now, where's the first place you'd go? And I was like, probably Nairobi, or just somewhere in East Africa, probably. But like, Kenyans have just such a dope way of partying, and like, you guys know how to have a good time, and I appreciate that about Kenyans so much.
Yeah, Kenyans like to have a great time. In fact, we like having it so much that even now during Corona, people are still trying to like have a good time. It's just, remember the guys who took the ambulance to go for the party, DJ? Yeah. It's just lituation all the way. But listen, Shoma Josie, you're writing a book, and I know that it's not out yet, but what can you tell us about the synopsis?
Wow, you guys do a lot of research.
Hey, yes, they pay us for that.
I mean, people that know me know that I started off on a background creative writing. That's what I wanted to do always. So I'm always writing something or other, and definitely will keep you guys informed. But one of the things I'm most excited about at the moment is this song that I wrote. So I wrote a song and didn't put lyrics on it, and then asked producers to submit beats for that. So that's been going extremely well, and then that's probably going to be the next thing that I'll announce.
Yeah. All right. Now, still speaking about writing, you know, John Cena, the song, of course, there has to have been an inspiration. I was a guy, and it's okay, we're not going to talk about the guy, but has he, I mean, now that this song has blown up, it's a global, massive hit, has he ever been, like, in the DM, like, Shoma Josie, like, I need some royalties, or like, how are you doing? I miss you. You know what I mean? Did he ever reach out? Was he like, this song is... Did he ever go like...
I mean, there's that song. I mean, there's John Cena. There's also Hukunambia, which is, you know, they're all about very specific, you know, guys. You can't ask for royalties. It's too late. Like, you know, you live your life the best way you can, and if people write about what you did, then, you know, you better be proud of the actions that you did. If you're around me and you do something with me and it ends up in a song, you did what you did. I'm not lying about you, so
take it all.
that's
I like it though, but you're on your Taylor Swift stance. They should just know. They could be the next biggest hit. They just need to know. It's at the back. It's sort of like at the back of their minds. Now, we're talking about basketball, and I know you love basketball. Have you watched The Last Dance, Michael Jordan's The Last Dance?
Of course. The second it comes out, I'm done. I'm through it. I love basketball. Everyone knows I love basketball. People, I host a show on YouTube with NBA Africa called NBA Africa Game Time. So if you're a fan of basketball, definitely watch that. My latest episode actually was with a football player, but who loves basketball. It was with Romelu Lukaku. So if you guys know him or love him, like, it was such a fun conversation. We talked everything basketball, everything Africa. I'm a huge fan of basketball. And, of course, I've been watching The Last Dance. Legendary.
Legendary. That is very true. He has... Just watching him seeking perfection time and time again. Every game, like you said, with the performances, when people come to your gigs and they're like, oh, that was nice. It wasn't by accident. Like, he put in a lot of hours just the same way. What's your biggest takeaway? Yep. I think it's now 5 or 6 episodes. I don't even know. What's your biggest takeaway from all of them? The one thing that you grasped?
So thank you for asking that. So like 6 episodes in, one of the main things that's coming out for me in watching that thing is to say, choose the thing that you're going to be good at. Ukimona Michael Jordan, Ali Diambia, I'm going to be the best basketball player. I'm going to be really good at this one thing. So you're going to be good at everything in this life. Like Kini, kama kuna kitu ambacho that's what you do for a living, do your best to be as good at that thing as possible. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at myself and I'm like, yo, it makes sense. If I'm an artist, I should spend most of my days doing art because that's what I do. So I should be making art most of the time. If you saying to yourself, you are a writer or maybe a speaker or whatever, make sure that whatever you're doing in your day contributes to you becoming really, really good at that. That makes so much sense to me, but it's something that I was reminded through watching Michael Jordan talk about how much he loves basketball and how hard he worked to become the best.
Yes, talking about focusing on that craft and that art. And he would just keep on throwing and throwing and throwing and just playing for hours and hours, and whether it's right after a match, and it's just so inspiring seeing one of the greats do it even after 10 years, even after 15 years. He was still playing as if he's just as hungry like it's day one. Now, congratulations on all of the awards and all of the achievements thus far. But I remember you when you gave your speech at the BET Awards, repping the girls when you won International Best Act Africa. You said you don't have to change who you are and you can still be big. Do you, have you ever felt like you had to conform?
No, I haven't, thank goodness, but at the same time, it's not that every idea that I did was immediately accepted, You have to, as a creative, you have to be ready and willing to put out 10 ideas, even if 8 of those ideas will be criticized.
Yes.
That's the nature of this. You have to be ready to fail sometimes. So me, there were some things, I mean, nikianza kusuka nywele zangu, watu walikuwa wanacheka. Nowadays, you know, kila mtu anataka there's so much Josie braids. So it's like one of those things, like you know, I sometimes ukisikiliza sana what people will tell you, you would want to change yourself, but at the end of the day, like, if you keep pushing with that thing, it might work out. Who knows?
Yes, that's true. Who knows? You have to try. You have to try so that you don't live a life of like, what if, what if, what if. Well, now, I mean,
Exactly.
as we come to the end of the interview, Sharma Josie, we're in quarantine. Are you going to release music now with this whole, you know, people sort of like waiting, wondering what's next? What's next? Are you still going to be releasing music? People can expect that?
Absolutely. I've been working on music. I've got a massive song coming out in a week in which I was featured. And that's actually the first time I'm talking about that. But yeah.
Oh, tell us more. 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 Who's the song? Where is it coming from? Oh, tell us. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Nini. I give you a hand. You want my whole arm.
We want the body. We want the whole.
So I'll be coming out with a feature like next week, and then after that I'll be coming out with my own single. So you know, don't worry, I'll keep you guys entertained, Jali.
All right. Well, tunashukuru sana, ulichukua muda ukatuongelesha. Tunasema thank you so much, Sharma Josie from SA.